because I haven't had to change back and forth for quite a while. Hey, it says we're green. All right. Maybe this will work.
We'll see. Probably
We'll
not.
see. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Hello, Internet. Are you there? Hey, we got a spinny thing. Hey, we're live.
Hey.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
All right. I forgot where the video's at. We're only doing 1080p tonight. It's wasted. Wasted all the new resolution. Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 105, your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm John.
Welcome, everyone. How's it going on this Wednesday night? John, I'm going to start off with how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic right now.
Yeah.
Right now, my mood shifted from I'm having a not so good a day, and then I came here knowing what we're going to do and just spike with happiness of what I'm going to put you through.
There's going to be a number of highs. There's going to be a number of lows. And we're going to have to go in between. Are we at 60 FPS? I feel like we're not. It seems a little jittery on my screen. Hold on. I think we're at 60. We should be at 60. Come on. And of course, it's not going to give me access anymore. We'll roll with it.
Just go with it.
I'm already done with it. Anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. As always, let me know what you're drinking here at the early parts of the show, early hours of the show. And we'll try to give you out a shout out here in the early goings. John, part of me really wants to ask this question because I know what's on the far right.
Yes.
Part of me really doesn't want to ask this question because of that godforsaken thing in the middle. So
Well, you're always complaining that I bring crap. Every now and then I bring a gem.
So you balanced it at 60% today?
Yeah. I bring a really good beer.
Whoa, who brought this beer?
Technically, I bought it.
Technically, I brought it.
You brought it, but I paid for it. You wouldn't have known for it if it wasn't for me.
I wouldn't. Well, actually, I did see the post.
Yeah, well.
So John called me at work the other day, right after a bar in downtown Salem said, "Hey, we have like a dozen of these Fremont beers, limited release. Ask the bartender if you want one."
Yeah.
And John called me like 10 minutes after this posted. And I went, he goes, "Are you driving through Salem today?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll get them for you."
Good. I need 4 of them.
I need 4. Anyway, so without further ado, this is the Fremont 2019 release of Dark Star. It's their barrel-aged, holy crap, mother of goodness.
Yes.
Chocolate and vanilla and maple syrup is what the gold top is.
Yes.
I also have a blue one that I'm going to be enjoying by myself at some point.
Yeah, I bought one too.
Yeah. John bought a couple of golds and a blue.
Yeah.
The agreement was I'll pick up the beer if I can open one.
Yes, that was basically the agreement. So, and then I have other variants of them, yes.
So.
But the thing in the middle is probably an awesome whiskey that we talked about on the show.
We did. We talked about it, and you threatened to bring it.
I did, and I
here
brought
it is. Here it is. So this is the Pabst Blue Ribbon whiskey. This is going to be an interesting experiment because whiskey is just grain alcohol that you age. It's a certain mash bill of grains. In this case, this would technically be a bourbon by American standards if it aged itself 2 years. The only way they can call it whiskey, though, is if they age it in oak at all.
Yeah.
So it is aged 5 seconds.
It says it right on the label.
Right there, aged 5 seconds. This is a 80 proof, 40%. They actually give you the mash bill on here, which is kind of cool. 52% corn, which means it would, had it aged 2 years, constitute as a bourbon under American law. 27% malted barley, 17% wheat, and 4% rye. So kind of cool that they do give you the mash bill. But this is what whiskey looks like before it ages.
Before the barrel.
The barrel is what gives it its color.
Yeah.
So this is somewhere between vodka and Everclear.
I would say
and then watered down to 40%.
Yeah, basically.
And sold as whiskey.
Basically, yes.
So there we go.
We get to review this before a Whiskey Tribe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they haven't even done this one
Nice.
yet. So,
yes.
Not saying we're going to do as big of a thing, but still, haha!
Beat them to something. Because usually I'm copying them, whether it's hot toddies or carbonated whiskey or the list goes on. Love you guys over at Whiskey Tribe. And we've got to get together and do something soon.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So if you guys are watching, call me. I'd love to come up in the tower. And then because we went pretty high proof on these two, we decided to go nice middle of the road, good old Ninkasi Tricera hops. It's their IPA, 8%. Solid IPA from the guys down in Eugene. We had another None of the Red last week with Steve on the show.
It's one of my favorite reds.
Oh, totally.
It's just a solid. I mean, it's not blowing your mind, but it's just solid.
It's everything you want in a red.
Everything you wanted in that red of just like and that price point. I think it's like $1.
Everything you want in the red without going unique, without like barrel aging it or super high malt or ABV or something like that. It's like a 7.5%. Solid English red ale.
I think the Ninkasi variety pack is probably my favorite variety pack. I usually get here.
And that's what I got. That's the Ninkasi IPA pack.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the IPAs, and we'll work our way right
down and then back up.
Yeah. There's a steep valley that we're going to dive into, and then all right, let's do this.
All right. Yeah, let us know what you're drinking on the chat. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. We do encourage any type of beverage on this show, whether it be water, juice, soda, tea, whatever, or hard grain alcohol.
Gatorade. I usually always start with a Gatorade on the show.
Yep.
Just because, drinking more than one beer, my body usually doesn't like that all that much, so...
I will use my new Fandy Dandy.
Oh, look at
craft
that.
computing bottle opener.
How did you get so lucky?
I was really hoping the first time I used this, it would break.
I'm
gonna laugh so hard if that happens.
No, I specifically bought those because they are heavy duty. They are. I got a sample in and I tested it for a month and a half before I committed to buying any. Because I wanted to be, I didn't want it to be like the 7-Eleven special bottle openers that you get at the beach or something like that you can open like 3 beers and then they break.
Yeah.
This one, I've used the same bottle opener consecutively for almost a year now, and it shows no sign of wear.
Oh, yeah. No, I was hoping I got like the Bad Batch one where the grain bill on it was horrible.
Got the weird alloy in it. So hopefully before too long, I will actually be opening up a merch store, and I do hope to offer those bottle openers for sale. Outside of the Patreon. Patreon, they are still coming. I've got a couple. I've got like 10 or 12 outstanding Patreon who still
pound him. It just took him last week to get me one.
I know. So you guys aren't that special.
Yeah.
John didn't even get his till last week.
Exactly. So stick with it. You'll get it.
That's right.
Skull's having some beer ramen broth.
Ooh, there you go. Is the glass big enough for a whiskey depth charge? Did you know Mountain Dew was originally a whiskey mix? Actually, yes, I did. And in fact, a couple of years ago, Pepsi reintroduced their original recipe Mountain Dew, which was a whiskey mixer. Mm-hmm. And I bought it specifically to mix it with whiskey. Pretty fantastic.
Really?
It's a clear beverage. It's not the neon green yellow that we know today. And very, very smooth, made with cane sugar, and a fantastic whiskey mixer. If I can talk tonight. And someone shaved. Steve last week, me this week. I was driving my wife nuts. So. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into today's stories.
Yes. Are you planning on traveling overseas? Basically this month or next month at all?
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. Yeah. Well, if you are...
Possibly sometime next year, definitely the year after.
So. Well, if you are, and you enjoy a nice, tasty, bubbly beverage, and think you have a good, vocabulary and are able to articulate taste and flavor via words, you might be able to get a job tasting Guinness.
That's right. So Guinness is looking for essentially someone to taste Irish whiskeys all over Ireland and the UK.
Yeah, they're doing Irish whiskeys and Guinness too. So they're wanting to do basically just different bars, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's just a short-term job, nothing too much. They're saying that they'll pay you £22 an hour, which I don't know if that's a lot, but that's essentially about $25 an hour here, isn't it?
It's closer to 30.
Is it?
Yeah, 28 probably, I think.
Okay, yeah. So a decent amount for
it's a good deal.
Yeah, drinking and essentially writing. They're asking you to be able to write 250 words to describe how your beverage tastes, and thousands have already applied for this job. Anyone can apply for this job.
Yep.
I think they said, and this was article came out last month actually, and they said already 6,000 people applied.
Yeah.
So it is not a full-time job; it is just a temporary job starting November and December. Yep.
Yep. It says obviously you need to be over 18 to apply.
Yes, you have to be of drinking age over there.
Yeah.
What a wonderful age to be able to drink.
Man, if I could take a holiday at age 18, go over to Europe, get paid to drink, and then come back to the States.
Right?
Oh, heck yeah. I'll bum around Europe for 3 years, tasting Irish whiskeys.
Yeah, that's your college thesis or your entry report.
That's right. Absolutely. One of our favorite beers around these parts. Hold on, I don't think I erased last week's timestamps. I didn't. Oh, cool. It starts a new one. Cool. We can keep going.
Yeah, cool.
One of our favorite beers around these parts, definitely the Goose Island Bourbon County Stout series.
Coming out real soon.
Yes. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 of them in my fridge. I know you have a number of them as well. They are the creme de la creme of stouts. They really are.
Yeah.
And always rank among my top 5 of beers if people are asking, what's a really good stout? Well, if you want to spend $15 at a minimum, Bourbon County. If you want to spend $35 and get one of the specialty ones, Bourbon County.
Yeah, exactly. Even the regular Bourbon County, they've really mass-produced it, but it's still a great beer.
Fantastic.
It's still a great beer.
Yeah.
And then their specialty ones are just way above. And this is the Anheuser-Busch. Mm-hmm. Technically, this is Goose Island.
So when this is always my argument for when someone says, "Oh, Anheuser-Busch bought another craft brewer and they're just gonna, cheapen them out and mass produce them and everything else." Look at Bourbon County. Look at 10 Barrel. Look at Lagunitas.
Yeah.
Look at the breweries who have sold out to large domestic brewers, and they're still producing wonderful, wonderful things.
Yes, they still are. Now, most of the time when the big craft or domestic breweries buy them, they're looking for the domestic beers. Mm-hmm. And usually within the contracts, most of these craft breweries say, hey, but we still want X control about these beers.
Right.
And InBev is usually like, go at it. Yeah. We don't care.
Play ball.
Here's a little more money to throw even at that specialty area.
Oh, and now you have national distribution of those beers.
And why do you think Goose Island now or Bourbon County is so easily, readily available when it comes out?
I used to never be able to get it on store shelves, and now it's available almost year-round in my local bottle shop.
Yeah, no, it's usually, they only produce it once a year, but they have so much of a backstock of the regular one. You can, Safeway and grocery stores around here will probably carry old backstock. And that's wonderful too, because it just gets better with age.
Right. 2 weeks ago, I bought a bottle. Yeah. I mean, and it was last year's bottle on the shelf. $15.
Yeah, it's still a great beer. Yep. So, for the first time, it is coming to the UK.
That's right.
So now, all of you guys that are watching over in the UK no longer have to pay for extra shipping. Mm-hmm. You can just buy it yourself. This will be available, November 29th, which is the standard day that we get it. It is, we call it Black Friday. Don't know if there's anything like that over there. Yep. But that is the release. And it's only going to be released, though, at the Goose Island Brewery in the UK. Right. So you have to go there to get it. It will not be distributed nationwide or store-wide, however. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if they see some success, they'll probably expand.
They'll probably ramp it up, yes. But they are expecting, they even state in the article, that they're expecting people to line up to get there early. Mm-hmm. So this will be a pretty interesting thing. And this year it is the bourbon barrels they used were Elijah Craig and Buffalo Trace. Mm-hmm. I think Heaven Hills, Buffalo Trace, and Wild Turkey. Yeah. So those were the barrels from the distillers they got.
Yeah, last year was Elijah Craig.
Yeah, and so it 4 years aged in these barrels. So that's why they're so good. Yep. All of these beers, they're not just sitting there for 1 year. No, they've been sitting back cataloged for a long time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be good.
Good stuff. Yeah, if you're in the UK and you've always wondered about them, wonder no more, go pick one up.
We talked about some social media stuff that this was funny, I thought. But Miller Lite tried to do some interesting social media stuff the other week. We talked about this on the show, where they were essentially trying to say, hey, we're going to give you a free beer because it's Miller time, and we want you to spend time with your friends and not on your phone.
Yeah, they did a survey of adults 21 to 35, and they said that only like 30% of them ever go out regularly with their friends and go have a beer or go out to dinner or whatever else. And John and I brought up the point. It's like, well, we can't afford it, so that's why. But you know, to their credit, they're trying to make something of this, and they said if you unfollow us on social media and prove it, we'll buy your first round. At the bar. Which equated to probably about $4.
Something like that. They said the first 118,000 people to do this, they'll buy you a beer, essentially.
And not to be outdone, and I think in the best example of turnabout is fair play, Natty Lite, an InBev company, decided to jump on the bandwagon. Not if you unfollow Natty Lite, you'll get a free beer. They said if you can prove you unfollowed Miller Lite, Natty Lite will give you a free beer.
So essentially, they're losing even more social media followers.
I think that is absolutely fantastic. This reminds me of Intel giving away the 8700Ks, the 8086, 8086.
Yeah, for the Intel.
And AMD saying, hey, if you want to give us one of the ones you won, we'll give you a Threadripper.
Yeah.
To the first 40 people.
But
this reminds me exactly
of that. No, this is just that whole jab. Ever since the Super Bowl ads of the corn, they've been going back and forth. And Natty Lite basically tweeted out, we don't usually agree with everything that goes on, but it's 100% time to unfollow Miller Lite.
To offer, we're doubling down on their offer and giving anyone who unfollows them money back on Natty Lite. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest for more.
Yeah. It's a brilliant, hilarious marketing scheme. I think it kind of is going to hurt Miller Lite.
Oh, I think it will too, at least on the social marketing side of things. Because followers are worth something. They're worth brand recognition. They're worth advertising space. And all of a sudden you have hundreds of thousands of people unfollowing you.
Yeah, I know. The major companies and algorithms are going to sit there, what's wrong with this? We have to look at something.
Right.
For all we know, the AI might sit there and see something's wrong with that company or whatever they're posting.
Right. Exactly. But absolutely hilarious. Bravo, Natty Lite. I don't say that often.
No, that was. I might go follow Miller Lite, unfollow him just to get a Natty Lite.
Right.
Just be like, look, I got mine.
Exactly. Quick follow-up to this story that's been developing throughout the year. Is the federal lawsuit against MillerCoors, or now Molson Coors. Keystone Light in particular, or Keystone Beers in particular. Stone Brewing suing Keystone.
Yeah, we talked about this
two or three times.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times. I think it's almost been like a year and a half now.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. But essentially, some interesting news came about that Stone Brewing actually has a rightful claim. And a judge is stating that MillerCoors and the Keystone Company actually withheld particular advertisements from the judge to basically try to hide any bad rulings against them.
Right. And
so it's a big victory for Stone, because now the judge is saying you need to give us everything.
Yeah. Yes. Quote from Stone: selectively withholding responsive documents because they are unfavorable is an egregious form of discovery abuse that warrants the most severe sanctions available. End quote.
Yeah.
And again, Stone has not been one for mincing legal language, and that is the equivalent of "F you effing scum." That is egregious form of discovery abuse is not particularly kind language.
I'm sure the owners were sitting there talking to lawyers like, how do we say F you the
Right.
most nicest way possible
Yeah.
on a document form.
And not even like the nicest way possible, the most direct but PC way possible.
Yes. That's right.
Because they wanted it to come across FU.
Yes.
They weren't being sarcastic. They weren't being cute. It was...
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not a kind statement.
It was our new can art label. Check it out.
Yeah,
and then two giant middle fingers.
Right. They continue down below. Quote, "We find it very disturbing that MillerCoors withhold critical documents that undermine its primary defense in the case, and our legal team will be addressing this matter further." We're pleased that the court recognized MillerCoors violated the discovery rules by permitting unfavorable documents and sanctioned MillerCoors for doing so. We look forward to updating our expert records with this new discovery material and proving its claims at trial.
Yeah.
End quote.
So this is actually heating up pretty big because if this does go through and Stone wins, this is actually pretty big for the craft beer industry versus big domestics.
Right.
Basically stating that, hey, they are infringing on our territory and all of our hard work. Mm-hmm. And it's just because they have large amounts of money doesn't mean they can do whatever they want.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but that's it for the beer news. We are basically right on time.
Yeah, we're right on time. No, we started a couple minutes late, so we've been going for 21 minutes.
Boom.
We got 4 beer stories in.
Yeah.
Boom. That's how we roll.
Uh-huh.
That's right. And we're halfway through our beers already. I'm going to slow down.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's keep going, Jeff. Soon, it will come for you.
I hate you so much.
Could we cool your PC with this?
Well, it's more water-like than the last whiskey I used. I hate you so much. Moving right along. Let's get right into our top story, and that is some leaked information provided by WCCF Tech, which seems to have all of the rumors, whether they're true or not, on their site. Regardless of whether they're true, they're always a good read. But Intel's entire 10th gen Comet Lake desktop chips have supposedly been leaked. It's no shock to anyone that, they're up in the core count by 2 again. We're going from 8 to 10 cores.
We're in double digits, people.
10 cores, 20 threads to compete with the 16 core 32 thread.
Yep.
Let alone the 12 core 24 thread.
Yep.
It's going to be called the i9-10900 in the worst possible naming scheme of all time.
Why not?
This one was interesting. Down from 105 watts to 80 watts, which I'm just going to say right now is BS. Just flat out calling that BS.
Oh, it'll be 80 watt at you have to put so many settings. You have to have this particular driver installed.
No, because the base clock still went up. They're claiming like 100 megahertz more on the base clock. And Intel's TDP numbers have been based on the base clock numbers, where if it runs at the base clock frequency, it will run at X wattage. So the 9900K at 3.8 gigahertz runs at 105 watts under peak load. So they're saying they increased it 100 megahertz, added 2 cores to it, didn't shrink the die. We're still on 14 nanometer, and they took out 25 watts. BS.
No, yeah.
Straight up BS.
That's Intel.
Straight up BS.
Well, yeah. And
nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
They can do that, Jeff.
Nope. Nope. Just straight no. And again, as a shock to no one, brand new chipset in the W480 because, well, Z is just kind of overused. And a new socket. LGA 1200. Because apparently, they didn't need a new socket last time, but they did have to change it electrically to make the 8-core work on the old...
Yeah, they need to make money somewhere else now.
Yep.
So now you're going to need to buy new boards.
Right. Well, it's the same place they've been making money for years, is selling you a new board every 2 years.
Yeah.
Instead of every, 4 years.
Well, this...
Yep. Some other interesting items in this list. Oh, there you go. Okay. I was like, it blacked out there for a second. You freaked me out. Up to 10 cores, 20 threads. Interesting items of note is all of the processors down to the Pentium are hyper-threaded this time around. And supposedly there are new hardware mitigations for Spectre and Meltdown, meaning these are not privy to the speculative execution hacks that were
leaked a while ago.
Sniffing data off of
All the way
VMs
back
and other
to
features.
basically the 90s.
Right. So these are not privy to those mitigate or those problems.
Yeah.
We have Wi-Fi 6 now. Yeah, everyone's going to have that. Enhanced core and memory overclocking.
Everyone's got that.
Okay. Up to 30 PCH high express lanes. Up to 40 PCIe lanes. Still only 16 on the CPU, though, with 24 available via the chipset. Integrated USB 3.2 Gen 2.2x1. Again,
awesome naming.
I don't know. They're going toe for toe with Intel for worst names of all time during a generation. Intel Rapid Storage version 17, because we needed one more version of that. Programmable quad-core audio with open firmware. So that one's going to be interesting. So open quad-core DSP audio built into the chipset.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
You have that. How many people actually have? I guess it's for studios. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But isn't this supposed to be the home chip?
Yeah, this is for the desktop chip.
Yeah, but so what 90% homeowner is going to need that?
Honestly, I think Intel's just trying to get a leg up anywhere they can, and if it's better integrated audio, I'm all for it.
I wonder if it's for the gamers who have like really good headsets, and I wonder if that is going to do.
I'm sure that probably plays into it a little bit. Getting Dolby audio or not Dolby audio since Razer bought Dolby.
Yeah.
That's the basic list. Again, I'm not surprised by the only 16 PCI Express lanes because, well, this architecture's been set in stone since Haswell.
Yeah.
With a 14 nanometer architecture, they can't go forward because they can't shrink it.
Well, they did say that they're still going to try to push for 10 nanometer in 2020.
No, we talked about last week that they canceled 10 nanometer. And
I could have swore that this article stated that.
Maybe
it
it
was
did.
A different one.
Nope.
I know.
Down at the bottom, there's a linked article. Intel says 10 nanometer desktop processor still in the works. Will be arriving 2020.
That's probably what I read. Yeah.
Also on WCCF, posted November 1st, so about a week ago.
Yeah. So.
Again, this architecture's been set in stone since Haswell. All they've done is they've put a different USB controller on board. It's the same 16 PCI Express lanes. They're increasing the PCI Express lanes via the chipset, so you have 24 on the chipset now. Meanwhile, AMD's over there going, yeah, well, we got 24 on our low end ones.
Yeah.
And 64 and 128 on the high end.
Well, yeah, they didn't talk price on this either.
Oh, and they're PCI 3.0.
Yeah.
Because again, you can't change that. There's no price points announced.
There was no price points announced, and they were still speculating it to be quite high.
Yeah. Scroll down to this chart right here. The prices are not going to drop. You're going to probably go equivalent across the board. So I bet the 10 core is going to sell for about $550 to $600.
Yeah.
Even though Intel says, it's $493 retail. Yeah, that's for bulk pricing. They always do that, and then it's $550 or $600 at retail. The 9900K is only a $490 processor. Anyone ever bought it at $490? Nope, you buy it at $600 because that's what it is. Anyway, i9 10900K, 10 core 20 thread, 20 megabytes of L3 cache. Shocker. Unknown TDP, unknown price. You have the non-overclockable i9 10900 because why not throw that SKU in there? And then a new T for a low power 10900, 10 core 20 thread, 2 gigahertz base clock with only a 4.5 gigahertz boost, 35 watts TDP, and again that's 35 watts if you run at 2 gigahertz.
Yeah.
Down the list, we've got 8 core 16 thread on the i7, so a nice return to form there. The i5 has 6 cores, 12 threads, and we're seeing kind of stair-stepping results on the boost clock as we go down from 5.1 on the 10900 down all the way down to 4.3 boost on the i5 10500, which is not a K SKU. And 65 watts of TDP at 3.2 gigahertz. And I'm sure those numbers are fairly accurate. But again, the 10900 only has a 3 gigahertz base clock. So, whereas the 9900K, I think, has a 3.8 gigahertz base clock. So they are significantly reducing the base clock to claim that 80 watt TDP. But you notice all the way down into the Pentium G6400 is a 2 core 4 thread 65-watt part. Yeah.
No. They're going to be able to do 80 at the i9.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
80 at 9.
Yeah.
i9.
8 more cores.
Yeah, no.
At 15 more watts.
They can do it.
Yeah, because that works out in my brain. something. They did the math. No Reddit fans, really? Yeah. They did the monster.
But this is good. I like this beer. It's just solid.
Again, you said it. One of my favorite variety packs. If you see the Ninkasi variety pack, especially their IPA variety pack,
get it.
Yeah, it's this. It's the Ninkasi Total Domination IPA, which is a 7.5%.
Yeah.
It's Dawn of the Red.
And then usually they throw a slightly different seasonal IPA in there.
Right now it's the Prismatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have an IPA lager. They have what's the Heart one?
Oh, the Heartstrong or whatever.
Yeah, Heartstrong or something like that. But yeah, so there's a seasonal IPA that's thrown there. But the three solids are always the Triceratops, the Domination or whatever.
Total Domination.
And Dawn of the Red are always in there.
Yes.
But I do agree with what you guys were saying before last week. The labels, I like the old labels better.
The old labels were better.
Yeah.
The old label of the Triceratops was literally a Triceratops instead of like the stylized stained glass Zelda kind of thing.
Yeah.
This isn't a bad label, but I liked the old one so much better.
I wonder if it's because when they got bought out, or they joined. I shouldn't say they got bought out. They
merged. Yeah.
And I wonder if it was a new stylization branding. But I do think the reason Dawn of the Red changed was because originally it was a fall-themed IPA.
Right.
And now they do produce it year-round.
Correct.
So they got to get rid of the zombies going. The graveyard. It does look like a holiday.
Well, you're still playing off the name. There's no reason to change that. So, I mean, you've got the Rogue Ale.
Yeah.
The Dead Guy Ale.
Dead Guy Ale. Well, that's their mascot, though.
I know it's their mascot, but you're not changing the style of your beer because you offer it year-round.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. So. Anyway. So, other Intel news, really quick. And this one is seriously really quick.
I didn't even see it.
So... we talked a couple of weeks ago about how Intel is starting to ramp up production of their graphics cards, of their discrete graphics cards, specifically the DG1 and the DG2. Well, the DG1 was seen on a GFX bench. Someone was trying to benchmark it, and you know how far they got? Failed, not supported. NA. No score given, not supported. But this is a Windows PC running Intel graphics featured DG1. And it says for internal release, DCH, build number 27723. So the interesting thing is that it was spotted. The not so interesting thing is that no benchmarks were actually posted.
Now, do you think it was that, or do you think someone clicked, go, oh, crap, stop.
It could have been that. It totally could have been that. A lot of times they try to run these benchmarks on offline modes.
Yes, exactly. That's what made me think. It was like, it saved the first trigger of it, but the cache. Yeah. Nope. No, exit out. Control
totally could have been.
Yeah.
A lot of times the high-end overclockers will do that kind of thing. They will run multiple scores. They'll post their lowest one that beats everyone else. And then if someone posts a higher one, they'll get online and post the next one.
The next one, and the next one, and the next one. Yeah.
So that happens a lot, running the benchmarks offline with 3D Mark and things like that. So it totally could have happened here. But
interesting that they're trying. It showed up.
Right. It's interesting that it showed up because this would still be a pretty early release. We do know they're coming sometime in 2020 or early 2021. And I've heard as early as summer 2020, we will be seeing Intel enter the graphics card market.
If it would probably just be announced of a release date.
Yeah.
I doubt it would be the actual card.
Right.
I would say earliest would be this time next year.
Right. Holiday 2020.
Holiday 2020.
Right. And I would agree with that. Maybe September, like the earliest.
Yeah. Summertime they'll release the announcement date. They'll show some more specs, maybe even as early as March or something like that. They'll announce it of end of the year coming in. Here's what it can do, and here's some scores.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Would you?
Well, you left it on the browser.
Oops. I'm still on the browser.
Yeah.
Here.
They didn't see our...
Don't pull the curtain back, John. What the heck?
Well, I'm not in control. And you moved the comments down so we can't see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically seeing two of the exact same comments.
That's true. Well, I was trying to catch up on any comments, see if there was anything interesting. Yeah. Someone said Intel desktop 10 nanometer coming in 2020, and someone said for a late Q4 announcement.
Yeah.
December Q4, they're going to announce that they have it coming in 2022 or something like that. You want to finish this and move on to the next?
Oh, you want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
If you would want to sniff it at all, I'll go get the... So, hang on. We're going to be doing the most PBR-esque...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. The PBRS thing, where I'm not going to make Jeff make a cocktail with this. I did think about that, but I'm not going to put
I even offered to do as such.
Yes.
I'll go get the stuff.
Okay. So I said, hey, let's do the most PBR thing of a cocktail we can come up with. And I said, let's just do Coke and whiskey. And Jeff stepped up the game and said, I got one better. Screw Coke and whiskey. We're just going to do Pepsi and whiskey. So Jeff's going to go grab us a couple of Pepsis. And we're basically going to have this moonshine corn mash PBR 5-second aged in oak barrel whiskey. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want a little snifter beforehand, Jeff?
I thought about it. I'm still thinking about it. It would be wrong of me to judge a whiskey without tasting.
Yes. Did you bring orange bitters? Because you like a little...
I just brought regular bitters.
Oh, okay.
Those are regular bitters. I do have some orange bitters if you'd rather that.
No, I'm good.
And actually, I usually add a lime to my my Coke. Make it a Cuba Libre. Right there. Since we won't need those anymore. All right. Like, how much of a snifter do I want?
Yeah, that's good. You don't want... It's actually not horrible. I've had way worse.
Oh, and I bet I have too.
Yeah, so it's... So, price point wise, I've seen it actually range from $20 to $28. And we're right in the middle here for Oregon. It's $24.
Yeah.
So, it is essentially... I mean, you just smell corn.
Yeah.
It's just corn.
It is syrupy sweet.
Yeah.
It smells like syrup. It tastes like, or it smells like I'm putting my nose into like a Fritos bag.
I get that. Yeah, I was gonna. I was gonna
like
say corn flake,
yeah,
like cereal.
Corn flakes, corn chips, Fritos.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I mean, ate the chips and now I'm sniffing the foil bag.
Yes, I will give that. That's a good example of what. It's a lot of corn.
Yeah. I hate you.
It's very sweet. I think it's very sweet.
Wow, that is sweet.
Ooh, there's a kick at the end.
It's got a kick at the end. Ooh. I think it's all the straight that I'm going to drink tonight. God, I hate you.
I gotta drink the rest of the bottle. Why did you give me more? There we go.
You're doing that to yourself.
It's fine. Enough Pepsi will and ice. Oh my gosh, it tastes like burnt corn.
Yeah.
Like at the back of my throat now. Now it's like something's burnt.
Yeah, now the Fritos are coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some weird peppery spice. I have never had bitters in
Really?
Coke, and I will try that.
Yeah, just give yourself 2 dashes. And... In fact, I should have had a stirring stick.
Does anyone else put bitters in their Coke and whiskey? I've never heard of that.
What, doing bitters in a Coke?
Yeah. There we go. Anyone else having anything else to drink? Second drinks, third drinks, whatever. Yeah, this is not the mash from the beer, though. A lot of people have asked that. It's not the lager pilsner mash that they use for the beer. This is literally PBRs. I'm betting they partnered with someone to do something stupid. I haven't tried it yet. It's the bitters, huh?
No. Ugh.
Oh, that does not taste good.
That is legitimately the worst alcoholic Pepsi I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, something's wrong with that.
That is off.
The back end is not good. That's corn.
No.
That taste. I'm loving this. All right, and that's the cover. That'll be the thumbnail.
That's the thumbnail right there.
That's the thumbnail.
That's me gagging.
Yes.
Jeff looks disappointment, and I feel bad.
Oh, God, yeah, that's bad.
How do you screw that up?
You know, this tastes like I'm not 21 and I made a whiskey and Coke.
Right.
And then, like, I paid someone to be like, oh, Pabst Blue Ribbon, I heard of them. Here, buy that for me, sir.
This tastes,
made a whiskey and Coke.
Tastes like my 21-year-old Black Velvet Canadian whiskey and Coke.
Yes.
Where it's like half Black Velvet and half Coke. That's what this tastes like.
This isn't good.
This is not good.
I tried to... I said, hey, let's just do something sweet. Yeah, this is not good. A friend... I didn't think you'd be that bad. Oh, that's good beer. A friend, Jason, he bought one too. He put a bunch of cinnamon sticks in his, and I think that's actually going to make it even worse.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he had like one sip like you and was like, how do I make this better? This is horrible. I just wasted $24.
Yeah.
Now, so if you're making, it's a novelty thing. I'm like, hey, do you want to try a beer whiskey? And I'm going to keep it in the back shelf.
Yeah.
You know. Or, oh, do we let it age?
Should we barrel age it?
Oh, God.
I've been looking for something to do with that.
Yeah, we'd have to toast that. I think we should toast that. I would give this up for that.
For those who don't know, John gave me a 750 milliliter, so 1/5 barrel, and it has a spigot on it. But inside of it, it's just an oak barrel.
It's an oak barrel. It's a tiny little oak barrel.
Right. So I don't know if we'd have to toast it.
Well, then it'd just be wouldn't it be white oak? And it would stay the same color.
Right. Well, no, you're still going to get some color.
You'll get some very, very low caramelization.
Right. Thing is, I don't know how we'd get into this barrel to toast it, to char it.
The back end isn't open?
No, there's a seam right here.
Well,
okay, so we'd have to pull the rivets out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's designed that essentially you can put your own liquor, single liquor into it, and let it age as long as you want. That was the design, and I never used it. And I was like,
that might be interesting to barrel age.
Right? We'd have to age it for at least another year.
Oh yeah,
not
totally.
2.
I'd say 2. That could be interesting. Let me consider that.
Yeah, I mean, for that price or for that taste, I wouldn't mind letting that go. All right, let's continue. Who likes Microsoft Edge? Everyone raise your hand if you like Microsoft Edge and Bing. Everyone, right? Everyone? Let's do a count. 0. Okay.
They're asking me to describe the taste. It's super, super sweet. It's super sweet. But, gosh, how do you describe that?
You ever have dumped cornflakes in Pepsi?
No, it's not. It's not quite that.
It tastes like corn.
It's very, very corny. It's very, very corn.
I do though wonder if the bitters.
I taste the bitters. That's not what's distracting me.
Could be.
There's a mid note to it that just turns the whole thing.
It's burnt. It tastes burnt.
It tastes burnt.
Yeah, I get
which is weird.
I get burnt corn, like I was saying. That's what I get with this. This tastes like burnt corn.
I'm gonna get a lime.
I can't. I'm trying to get us back on track, guys. I really am. Aha! You know what I'm talking about, Stuart.
All right, we're back on track yet?
I wish. Well, okay. Stuart's trying to get us back on track, and I'm trying to get us back on track, but we're trying to talk about Microsoft Edge and Bing. Like I said, Hey, introducing Microsoft Edge, Bing, and what do we talk? Chromium.
Now, we did talk about this a little while ago, that Edge was abandoning the Internet Explorer base code.
Because everyone hated it.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Splash a lime. Because, people were migrating away from it. And Microsoft wanted to keep up with the time. So they're adopting the Chromium open source browser as their core.
It's a nice browser. I like the browser.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with it.
Right. Anyway, we announced that you could download a beta version a little while ago. Maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, they had a beta version available for it. Basically, what they're doing is they're taking the idea of Chrome with all the integrated Google services, and they're taking the open source Chromium and integrating all of the Microsoft services. So your Office 365, your OneDrive, your Cortana tie-in for AI, all of that stuff is now rolled into an open source package that is competitive with the features that Chrome and Firefox offer.
Yeah. Hopefully this will go away, though, from... I wonder now if they're really trying to get away from that message of, are you sure you want to change your default browser? Why don't you try Chrome or Edge?
Right.
Or whatever. Which, if it does all those features, not too bad, but I've actually still had problems with Chromium. Or Linux-based Chromiums.
Didn't help. I've had kind of mixed results with Linux-based Chromium. I believe Raspberry Pi on Raspbian, they went over to using Chromium instead of Firefox a little while ago.
And that's what I was getting issues with.
Yeah, I've had some good highs and some really, really down lows of trying to use that browser on Linux to, like I said, kind of mixed success.
Yeah, so I don't know if I assume Microsoft has adjusted some of those features, probably beefed up everything, especially if they're now going to release this as their flagship. I am curious of how open source this will be.
The core of it is still open source. I guarantee every component of it is going to be closed source.
Yeah.
All of the add-ins, all of the Microsoft tie-ins, the Cortana features of it. And that's the thing with the Chromium license is you can integrate closed source code into the open source Chromium and still distribute it as such.
But then are they going to sit there and say, hey, any tweaks you do, you neglect X? For, what if it's going to mess up anything?
No, I don't think that's the deal. I think the core of Chromium is not Chrome. It's
not Chrome. It's open source. But what I'm saying is the ability to adjust that code on the free, and then will it neglect all the probably the licensing attachments that they're going to have, saying, hey, if you mess with any code whatsoever, it's probably going to mess with all the attachments, and we're not going to support you.
Open source doesn't come with support anyway.
Well, okay.
And so I don't think Microsoft's worried about that. They have engineers who can do this kind of thing in their sleep. So I don't think that's really a concern about it. And I don't know if Microsoft is going to... Well, they kind of have to allow you to tweak the browser because of its open source nature, and so. But whether or not they support installing add-ons, installing applications like Chrome apps, because Chrome apps supposedly should be being depreciated before too long as well, in favor of web applications, which are two completely different things. So yeah, I'm curious to see how it actually works.
It's just interesting. It's a very interesting idea that they're doing. The other big news, though, what kind of big news was a logo change.
The logo change. No longer the big E.
No longer the big E. And
I actually really like the new logo.
I do and I don't. It, to me, looks like a complete ripoff of Chrome.
It's a mix of Chrome
and the E.
And Netscape Navigator.
I'm not too familiar with that logo.
Netscape Navigator was the boat.
Oh, no, see...
And all of a sudden it's a wave.
Okay, no, see, this to me still looks like Chrome because, see, it's got 2 of the 4 swirls or whatever, and it's trying to be an E, but it's not. And, if the graphics just continued, I would have thought it's going to turn to Chrome.
Right.
That's how I'm picturing this.
Totally. But I mean, the Chromium is 3 colors with the darker blue circle.
Yeah.
And so I don't disparage the logo or the use of this logo. The Chromium logo shaped like an E. I'm digging it. I like the shape. I like the idea.
Yeah.
I like that they're abandoning the E for Edge and Internet Explorer.
They
needed a rebrand.
They do need a rebrand, but then I think they're going to be fighting another battle of trying to get consumers to be like, here's the new internet that's coming out on all the modern desktops. And you got your mom and pop, where's the internet now? Where's my internet application? Oh, mom, dad, it's that thing now.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
I think that's the trouble with this new logo.
Yeah, I think that problem is...
I think more people look at logos or icons than the actual text underneath.
Oh, guaranteed they do.
And so with an older couple and older people that aren't too computer savvy, to where I still see people like, oh, I use Internet Edge or Internet Explorer, they're going to be looking for an E.
Right.
I don't think that's going to help them. And, I'm sure a new Windows update will automatically give you the latest Internet Explorer
I'm sure.
Chromium.
Yeah. Yeah, for quite a while, I imagine Internet Explorer 11 or 12, or I think it's 11, whatever the hell we're on right now.
11.
It is going to exist simultaneously with the Chromium Edge. And then probably with the next version of Windows, likely a Linux kernel, will be phasing out Internet Explorer in favor of Chromium.
So yeah, I think maybe that'll be their big push of new app icons. Maybe a whole new. I wouldn't be surprised if all Microsoft products get a facelift on their icons, just so everything kind of starts working together.
Yeah.
New offices, new Internet Explorer, new Windows logo. I bet everything will change.
Yeah.
The next Windows update, or not update, but version.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple people agreeing with me with Netscape Navigator, saying when I look at that logo, I think of Netscape.
Oh,
it doesn't.
Again, I'm not. I wasn't too familiar with the Netscape Navigator.
Okay.
Is all
before your time.
I'm sure if I saw it, load it up, because I'm...
Netscape Navigator. So that was their late logo.
Okay.
I don't know, because
I kind of remember the top end.
They had a boat at one time.
Just hit images.
Yeah, it's still just the circle. Images. There we
go.
Yeah, for a while it was the wheel.
Ew.
Yeah. Well, this is 2.0. This is like 1993.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the browser button-wise looks very familiar.
Yeah. Could have swore they had a boat, or was it always just the wheel? Might have just always been the wheel. Yeah, it was this kind of stuff. But it's always kind of like the horizon of the ocean and that kind of thing. So.
I bet it's more of the color aspect.
And the colors are very similar.
Yeah, I was going to say, the color aspect looks very similar, but...
Thought it was a lighthouse. I thought it might have been a lighthouse as well. It was always a seafaring kind of thing. And probably playing off the Internet Explorer.
Yeah, we're navigating the waves or the stars of the...
Navigating the World Wide Web.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So,
So AMD news.
Yes, a little bit of AMD news from kind of an unexpected place. Although completely expected if you follow the world of data centers and big data and things like that.
You have and we have been talking about for quite a while, that this might be something that happens, that AMD... your stack.
I'm playing with my bottle caps.
Yes. That might...
When the apocalypse comes, I'm going to have enough caps to get off this rock.
So yeah, data centers and stuff like that, of how the AMD processors are looking more and more competitive and price points and just performance.
Right. So Netflix is obviously one of the biggest players in big data today. Hey, bite my bits. Sips on Bud Light Orange.
You know what? For whatever you got to do, we're drinking this.
Yeah, we're drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon whiskey. So
you're a step above us.
Come at me tonight, bro. Band's bite. Good job, Rev. Yeah, don't irritate my mods, Jason.
Yeah.
But welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on over. Bite My Bits. Go subscribe to him on YouTube. He makes some fantastic content. He's been getting really deep into the home lab stuff as of late. He's always been big into the security cameras and that kind of thing. So
I need some of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I do.
Security cameras, Plex, big storage. That dude has more storage than even I need. So
really,
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna start watching his videos.
Anyway, go give him a look. Bite My Bits. Anyway, Netflix is one of the larger players in big data today because of the amount of data that they sling across the World Wide Web.
Oh yeah.
At any given time, Netflix is using roughly between 20 and 35% of the global internet pipeline. Worldwide, they're making up
a quarter.
That much.
A quarter of the traffic.
Right, a quarter to a third. Need is such a strong word. You're right, I want it. And you do too. Anyway, Netflix set out a project not long ago of the idea of being able to sling 200 gigabit per second from a single node server. That was their goal. Now, to do that, you need a lot of I/O performance. You need a lot of bandwidth into the CPU and a crap ton more out of the CPU once it's being processed. Now, to do that, this chart originally started back with Skylake and Cascade Lake Xeon chips. Now, when they first started this endeavor, AMD wasn't even on the radar of Netflix. They said, well, which Intel platform is going to serve us best?
AMD wasn't even on the radar of home PCs at that time.
Right. Yep. So when they started this out, they said, well, let's shoot for 100 gigabit per second bandwidth. Intel Skylake and Cascade X offer 90 gigabytes of memory bandwidth in a dual CPU setup with 48 PCIe Gen 3 lanes, which offers about 38 gigabytes of I/O bandwidth. And I know there's a lot of numbers in here. And they knew 200 gig wasn't achievable. They were trying to achieve 100 gig. And honestly, the amount of I/O, they literally couldn't do it with an Intel platform. They've started looking very, very hard at AMD Epyc, at AMD Rome specifically, so Gen 2 Epyc with the 7 nanometer. Looking at the 7551 and the 7502P sockets, you get a single socket with quad chiplets connected on the Infinity Fabric I/O. You get from 90 gigabytes of max memory bandwidth with the dual processor Xeon chips. So again, 45 gigabytes per second per chip because you can't share the memory between the two. At least not at high speed.
Yeah.
Not at high speed. You go from 90 gigabytes per node to between 120 and 150 gigabytes of memory bandwidth per node, and that is shared across the Infinity Fabric.
Yeah.
You also go up from 48 lanes of PCI 3 on the max dual-core configuration, up to 128 lanes of PCIe 3, and Gen 4 if you go with the 4502P. which is the Generation 2 7 nanometer, which gives you 100 gigabytes per second of I/O, up from 38 gigabytes per second of I/O on Intel. So pretty staggering numbers.
Pretty much what they want,
right?
Plus some,
right? And mind you, if you hit the little arrow to the right there, this is Intel's max configuration. They can go up to 180 gigabytes, so 2 times 90 of memory bandwidth, but only 96 PCI Express lanes, which gets you 75 gigs. So they can basically process 180 gigabytes per second at the CPU, but they can only send out 75 gigabytes per second of data. And that doesn't get them close enough to what they need. So again, we've stated that it's not the consumer who will win the PC wars or the CPU or the core wars for AMD or Intel. It's going to be data center customers, and it's projects like this. And the fact that Netflix is crunching over the numbers and getting the performance per watt and the performance per square foot in their data center down to a certain finite spec and saying, we want 200 gigabytes per second of performance out of a single node, and AMD can deliver that, and Intel can only give us 75.
Well, and the good part about this is if they do end up going this way, like you said, this is just them looking at it. Now, this is a very highly likely going to happen down the future. Technically, Netflix could lower their prices because of this. This is a lot less power and a lot more, when I mean power, actual physical power,
right,
versus raw data power. They'll be able to offer you better quality, faster rates. The buffering rates will be better. They could offer you technically 4K at really good speeds too. This is a great thing. Maybe we might finally get away from that. Well, I think it's $11.99 subscription. The company, that might even drop because they might be using less power, less space at data centers. And then this is a great. Netflix is huge. Other places are probably going to wait to see how Netflix integrates this.
Oh, certainly.
And if it does work, they're like, oh, boom. It's just going to skyrocket. Everyone's going to jump on the AT&T bandwagon.
Yep.
If it fails, highly doubt it will.
Right.
Nothing bad. But I'm betting once this gets integrated, AMD is just going to conquer all.
Yep. Anyway, so they're saying with an Epyc configuration, they can reach a maximum throughput of 194 gigabit per second through their processing. And considering the total cost of ownership and that the fact that AMD is literally half the cost of ownership up front, and then even more energy efficient on the server side of things when you're actually running them, Netflix can probably make a very clear-cut case to go AMD moving forward.
Yeah, well, kind of like I was saying, it's going to be lower on their budget, higher on their output, and I think in the end the consumer might see that benefit. I mean, we might see $1 or $2 drop in subscription rate or whatever, especially now with the competitive other streaming services that are coming out. I think Netflix might also see that and be like, we need to figure out a way to cut costs. Oh, we can also improve our performance? Yeah. Let's go that way.
Epyc are physically similar to a Threadripper socket, right? They are identical physically, kind of, but they are not electrically compatible. And that's all down to the memory channels that are available. With Epyc, you get up to 8 channels. With Threadripper, you only get 4. Now, the rumor right now is that the Threadripper chips are going to come out with 8 and 4 channel dies, and they'll probably be sharing the same socket as the Epyc CPUs do right now, the SP3 versus the TR4. And Stuart points out they won't drop prices. They won't drop prices, just buy back stock or something. I don't think they'll buy back stock. They'll probably reinvest in shows. Either buying license rights because they lost out on license rights to South Park and
all the Marvel stuff.
And then you've got Disney Plus on the horizon. You've got Apple's subscription service coming up.
HBO.
So you've got all these subscription services that they're trying to compete with now. They need to keep their product relevant. And so I don't think the savings are going to be passed along to the customer. Likely they're going to reinvest in either original content or licensing content to put on their platform.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the subscription base did go down because of that. Because all other platforms are so much cheaper. Especially, I think the most one that has the biggest competitive edge versus Netflix will be the Disney Plus, and they are offering some really cheap price points right now.
Yeah.
And some pretty good, what could be some original content.
Yeah. Yeah. So either way, very, very interesting times are ahead.
What do you have as a phone?
I actually just ditched the company in question.
Really?
I did.
I have never had them, and everyone that I've ever known that has them has always complained.
I've never complained. I never had really a bad experience with them. I had them since 2003.
Okay, so
I'm a long time subscriber.
Yeah.
I was on this and then Singular and then back to this during that whole buyout and rebuyout thing. We're talking, of course, about AT&T. I actually just ditched AT&T for Google Fi.
Really?
I did. Honestly, I don't travel outside of coverage zones that often. When I'm traveling, I can always throw a GSM SIM card into here, so buy myself a gig of data on an AT&T Go plan or whatever, and venture forth to
someplace
to wherever. But no, I bought myself a Pixel 3 as well as I bought my wife a Pixel 3. I got her off of an iPhone.
Oh.
And we were thrilled. My bill went down almost $60 a month for two phones. So there we go.
There you go.
Literally this last week I pulled the trigger on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so strangely relevant this week. Anyway, in the news on Monday was that the FTC is fining AT&T $60 million for throttling unlimited plans all the way back in 2011. Now...
14.
2011.
Really? Oh,
Yep.
It says date back to 14.
Yeah, they also dated it back to 14.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the original fine.
Yeah.
For that, but they've refined them for the 2011 grievances, as well as their continued grievances moving forward through 2014 and on up. $60 million, isn't that like pocket change? Yeah, pretty much. AT&T's not sorry. They're not sorry.
That's why they're continuing to do it.
Right. Right. So anyway, the fine was for throttling unlimited customers. So they sold unlimited data packages with no fine print whatsoever about, well, you can only go to 10 gigs and then we're going to throttle your data. And this is back in 2010, so the iPhone was just a couple of years old, so think 2008, 2009, 2010. You've got the iPhone 3GS, and you've got an unlimited data plan for $30. That was the unlimited data plan.
Yeah.
So hundreds of thousands of customers signed up for that.
I was close,
Right.
And then I know lots of people who did.
Right. I did personally myself, as well as a number of other people did themselves, and signed up for that. And then all of a sudden, they started throttling the connections, stopping your connections, and even worse, charging you overages for going over a certain amount.
Yeah.
Depending on what region you were in. Even though you bought an unlimited plan, which had no fine print about what the max was. Now, I wish the FTC would step in and tell Verizon, you can't call it unlimited. And tell AT&T, you can't call your current plans unlimited because they're not unlimited.
Yeah.
Unlimited up to 22 gigs. What the is that?
Yeah, it's...
That's not a thing. That's a limited plan. But yeah, all the current plans go up to a certain value, and then they'll throttle you to like 3G speeds, 128K from that point on.
Yeah.
And I wish so much we weren't based on data. I wish we were just based on speed. I'd pay whatever for a 10 megabit max and unlimited data. I don't care. Yeah. Same thing with Comcast. Stop charging me X amount for the amount of data I use and just charge me for the speed you're going to deliver.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because honestly, I'd be fine with a 100 by 100 line if I got unlimited data. I can wait a couple of minutes. It's not a big deal. I don't need gigabit speed to stream Netflix.
No.
I don't. But don't charge me for streaming all the Netflix I possibly can.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing that... And it's...
Yeah, don't sit there and be like, oh, I want to look at my Plex server or something like that from my phone or access that on the outside. I'm getting charged for this now.
Right.
And it's like, what the heck? Yeah.
And the reason they charge for it is because people don't understand the numbers. It's, get 20 gigabytes. Whoa, that's a lot, right?
No,
not in the modern day.
And then someone's like, oh, look at my streaming service, and we're doing 4K. Click.
Yeah.
And then, charged midway through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you have enough speed even at that to do that 4K video.
God, that's still bad.
With it being watered down, it does. This tastes like the 7th or 8th drink I have at a party, and I'm totally smashed, and I don't care what I'm drinking.
See, I still care.
No.
I still care. I'm not enjoying this. Not in the least.
Could use more lime.
Yeah.
It still tastes burnt.
Yeah. It still tastes burnt. It still tastes bad.
Just think of what's coming.
I know.
The beauty.
Why do you think I'm sucking through it?
The beauty.
Yeah.
No, this is. I wouldn't be surprised. Top 10 favorite beers. Like, we're gonna have such a happy face on the show.
I know. That's the only reason I agreed to the Pabst Blue Ribbon. I would have turned you away had I not been holding on to this. Nope, come back with something else.
Even if you didn't have this in your fridge, I would have walked in the door and been like, eh?
Yeah.
That's the
thumbnail. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I'm doing a PBR whiskey review.
Yeah.
I'm going to do I'm trying to get all of the PBRs. From non-alcoholic to, I have an extra to this, to extreme. And I'm just going to do an episode of all PBR reviews. I can't get the coffee because it's illegal here.
So subscribe to Hops and Brews. Link down in the video description to watch him suffer even more than
Even more so. If anyone's seen... All of the Discord today saw me suffer sucking down a Top Ramen beer.
That was good.
Yeah. Not so. The first bite really wasn't bad, but I think it was like the top layer that was still cold and and then everything else after that was just soy sauce that burnt. It actually very similar to this.
Yeah.
So
cheap.
Yeah, it tasted cheap.
Yep.
But also, speaking of joining. If you haven't joined Jeff's Discord, see how we're self-promoting here. That's right. Just a minimum of $1 will get you in, and you can always do more. 100% of the proceeds do come back into this show. And if you love talking about basically anything in the world, because we have a chat room for it, trust me, and it's all active. They are all active chat rooms.
Yes.
Cars, memes, computer builds, trades, food, beverage, the random talk, last week's episode of Talking Heads, current episode of the Talking Heads. We have it all. There's almost someone on there 24 hours a day. The 4 hosts of Talking Heads, Jeff, myself, Steve, Rhett, are always on it. We don't lie when we say this is probably one of the best Discord channels we have ever been on. That's kind of a big thing. Mm-hmm. So it's a great channel. Yeah. So join that too if you haven't already. Links will probably be in the description below. I don't write those, so who knows?
It's down in the video description. Totally is. Join the community over there, ever-growing community. Minimum donation of $1, although more is appreciated. And
and you get a fancy bottle opener.
Come hang out with all the cool people.
Yeah.
No, the bottle opener promotion's not going on anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's still there, but I need to take it off because it's just weird at this point. Anyways, a couple more news stories in the tech realm, and then we'll get into some a little bit of gaming news. So Trend Micro, this story came out earlier today. This is kind of the worst timeline if you can imagine a DevSec person having to live through. And that's not, you go to work, you do your darndest to lock up your firewall and keep all of your data encrypted and make sure that everything's under lock and key and you have proper in-out procedures and everything else. And then an employee prints off an itemized list with contact information and all of the relevant information of every one of your customers and sells it to a nefarious third party.
pops out on a USB drive because like, hey man, I took my USB drive home. There we go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to Trend Micro back in August of this year. Trend Micro said approximately 70,000 of its 12 million customers had been affected by this breach. And this was not your run-of-the-mill breach. This was, again, and I quote, in August 2019, Trend Micro received many reports of its home security software users had been receiving scam phone calls. The scammers knew so much information about their targets that Trend Micro suspected its customer support database had been breached. As it turns out, it was an employee who took the data and sold it to an unknown third party with, quote, malicious insider, with, quote, clear criminal intent. Of defrauding these users, end quote. Again, not very kind language.
No.
From Trend Micro. And the breach was in fact a malicious insider threat.
Yeah, so it wasn't a hack of any kind.
Right.
So.
Right. But 70,000 user personal information out in the wild, and they tried to come back at Trend Micro customers. And exploit them for cash.
Yeah, they were essentially calling them back up and saying they were Trend Micro. And stating, hey, we're Trend Micro, we see you might have a problem, or hey, we're updating our software, blah, whatever it was. You know, I'm sure every script was different, but trying to get something out of them. I mean, with that much information, even I would probably believe, oh, yeah, okay, you're Trend Micro. Mm-hmm. You know, you have my account number, you have this, you have X. You're okay, I believe you now. Yeah. Now, luckily it wasn't all of them. 70,000 still is a lot.
Right. As pointed out by Skull, that's 0.5% of the user base. So, not horrible.
Not horrible, but still, that's
worse than the NordVPN breach. But hey, at least they disclosed it in a timely manner.
That's true.
So thank you, Trend Micro, for that. Not a good look for Trend Micro.
And a good response.
And a very good response. Very timely response. And they said, our investigation revealed that the employees sold the stolen information to a currently unknown third-party malicious actor. The company said it was working with police, and the employee in question had been fired. And also warned its customers that customer support staff will never call people, quote, unexpectedly. They will always schedule a time over email or some other communication if they need to contact you. But more than likely, they're there to support you. So if you have a problem, call them.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Same kind of thing. Microsoft doesn't call you because there's a virus on your Windows PC.
Yes.
The Social Security office doesn't send out warrants for your arrest and call you with said warrants. It's one of those things.
So I have now been doing...
But I have been trying to get in touch with you all about your car's extended warranty.
I get the...
I'm going to make a great pitch, man.
Oh, yeah. I get the, insurance, because insurance right now is you're able to adjust it. Mm-hmm. Oh, your insurance, it's that time of year again to adjust your insurance, and we have great rates and blah, blah, blah. I see your insurance, you need to add this. And family members, so I've been getting those. All I've been doing, I put my phone on speaker, just blast music, and I just watch the screen, wait for them to hang up. Like, I'm tired of...
I was going to say, you should try buying a house, but yeah, you know, you got a loan recently. So, yeah. No, but
I used to mess with them.
Yeah.
I used to like talk to them and get them going and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then mess with them somehow.
Have you heard of Lenny?
Oh gosh, it sounds very familiar.
Lenny is a call bot that you can install on a home PBX server.
That'll just keep them talking.
It keeps them talking.
That's right.
Hello, this is Lenny. And hi, Lenny. This is Greg with Home Clearers Public or. You know,
whatever.
Sorry, I could barely hear you there. and he keeps them on the line. And at one point, he starts talking about his grandkids and his oldest Larissa. You know, she was the first one in the family to graduate from university, and we're all very proud. And he's this, you know, right old British chap, and he's just so kind and whatnot. And at one point, he runs out the door and he's like chasing geese through the yard.
We already have a meme for that.
It's amazing. Yeah. No, if you've never, I think there's a YouTube channel called This Is Lenny, and there's also a Reddit for This Is Lenny. where it's Lenny answering phone calls of telemarketers.
Oh my gosh, I got to do that.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
It's great. There's been some cases where they've kept him on for like an hour and a half, and what's funny is Lenny is not that long. It's like a 5-minute loop, where he goes back to a certain part of his script and starts waxing poetic about Larissa, his eldest, again. Yeah. Go look up Lenny some other time, not now. So yeah, Trend Micro, good response. That's a tough leak to plug, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, most times security places, it is usually hardware hacking. You know, someone physically there. It's not someone breaching the firewalls or whatever. It is an employee, or again with the Nord. They just had the physical server that the third party company messed up. It wasn't Nord VPN that messed up.
Do you know why you get so many spam phone calls? It's because social engineering is still the #1 cause of fraud.
Oh, I thought it was because of all those, like, hey, win a free vacation, I keep putting my phone number
That too. Anytime you see those mall kiosks of win the Harley Davidson,
they're selling your data.
Win the Sportail, win the whatever else, win this truck or whatever. One person will win a truck. The rest of you win a lifetime of free spam phone calls.
How do you think they? Yeah, that's how they collect data.
Right.
That's just a data collector.
Right. That or whatever you signed up for on Facebook or whatever else. That's where they get all that information. Yeah. Or in my case, your credit company sold your information and
when you went and bought a house.
Right. They're watching your credit report. They're watching all these other things.
Oh, I know. That one time that the bank needs to run your credit report and then you get 30 phone calls the next day. You're looking for a home loan, I see.
Could you use a car to go with that?
Yeah.
How about a no-interest credit card for the first 3 months? Oh, and then it's 27%.
Yeah.
But no, social engineering is still one of the #1 scam techniques. It's calling you about your car's extended warranty and selling you bogus coverage. It's the Social Security office calling and saying they have a warrant out for your arrest and please go buy us $700 in iPhone gift cards.
Oh yeah. I know, right? I mean, how many grandparents? How many people coming over from other countries that just don't know how, hey, they're scamming us and that this American company, oh, my kid signed me up for this
Dunkel Ara, this is not pre-recorded. There are 73 watchers right now. Others have 300 and a decent amount of interaction with the viewers. This feels pre-recorded. I did not say it is. It's not pre-recorded.
Trust me, it's not pre-recorded.
Trust me.
We look back at previous ones where we've had audio issues, camera issues, plenty of issues. This is not pre-recorded.
We're pretty well polished, but it's not pre-recorded.
Yeah, no. But if you're saying we're that great, thank you.
It's like a news broadcast.
I know.
Awesome.
Literally, I would say 90% of our banter's off the cuff.
Yeah.
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 I mean, all we do is we post articles. Okay, both of us review it separately. Maybe we get 10 minutes together.
Scripted, maybe. You're giving me way too much credit.
Yeah. No. And the script is terrible.
Yes, terrible script. I fully agree with that.
It's like
I need to fire my writers.
What's the new Terminator movie?
Wait, hold on.
Not Genesis. Dark Fate, something like that. Yeah, it's like the script to Dark Fate.
Hold on, I need to afford some new writers, so we'll just...
Sponsorship.
That's right. We'll just drop that right there.
Now, we will not take kindly to sponsorship.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, buy that one.
Buy that one. That's a good one.
Whatever that one is. Anyway, moving right along.
Yeah. Last week with Steve, you were talking about watches.
We were.
I do remember the watch that you had. I had to tune out early, but it was a nice watch. I remember it being very bulky. It looked nice.
Yes.
It felt nice. I got to play with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Too bad I hated it.
And then
I loved my Pebble Steel.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, your Pebble Steel. That's what it was. I was actually really close to buying it, and then a friend of ours, Chuck, he went and did like the whole Wish.com. Hey, I want a cheap watch to just notify me I got a text message.
Yeah,
never worked whatsoever.
Yep.
I never got into the watch category. I really love the idea. I really always loved the Dick Tracy. That's the one thing I've always wanted. But I still don't like the design.
Right.
But there's a couple companies that are coming out with some pretty cool designs.
Yeah. Now, Xiaomi, I've been a long-time fan of theirs. I've never actually bought anything of theirs, but I do like what they're putting down. And they introduced their all-new Mi Watch with LTE connection and Android Wear OS.
Yeah.
You can't buy it yet. But they did announce the watch itself, and it has some pretty interesting features to it. Number one, I love the look of it.
It's a very sleek-looking watch.
It's a very good-looking watch, kind of Apple Watch-esque, with a very, very simple outside. It does have a Snapdragon Wear 3100 4G chipset with 4 Cortex-A7 cores. So should be a relatively fast and snappy watch. Has a 570 milliamp battery, which says should last 36 hours on a single charge.
Which, that's nice.
Right.
You know, you're not going to be the whole, I left mine overnight.
Right.
You'll still have 12 hours.
Right, exactly. And the really cool thing is this is actually 4G capable over LTE with an eSIM, an integrated small SIM card.
Yeah.
So you could have cell service on this and do data and phone calls. Which I think is pretty flippin' fantastic.
Yeah. Now, though, the price that they were kind of pointing at, which was Chinese-based,
right,
still a little high.
It's $190. And honestly, I don't think that's that bad.
Really?
Because if you look at some of the premium Android watches that are out there, you look at the Moto G Watch or whatever the heck they call it now.
Yeah.
You look at some of the Samsung Gear and Samsung Wear stuff. Those are upwards of $300 and $400.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
$190 for what looks like a very nice polished aluminum or mild steel.
Do you think that band's steel?
I don't know if it's steel or not. It looks like it's linked.
Yeah, it looks.
Although it is
the strap looks rubber on the back.
Right, it looks like it's rubber. But if it uses a standard hook, I'll put a metal strap on top. Or a nice leather strap or something.
Yeah.
But $190, I might be on board. Will go on sale in China at least on November 11th. Not sure about launch in other countries.
Yeah, so I'm sure if it's on China, we can probably ship it over here for $20 and wait, 20 days overseas on a boat. And I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of knockoffs, but it looks pretty cool. It's got even what Gorilla Glass, but it's got some really nice glassware on it.
Yeah, it says some toughened curved glass.
Toughened curved. Well, they say also the material that some other material that it's made out of is proprietary.
Right. So it's not Gorilla Glass; it's some own homebrew formulation that they came up with.
So, but it's a pretty sleek looking watch.
Yep.
So, and if it can do self-service, you can then do the cool Dick Tracy. Mm-hmm. And that's the coolest part of a smartwatch, if you can do it.
Video chat. I'm waiting for video chat.
Yes, that would be cool.
Give me my Dick Tracy video chat, god dang it.
That's I guess my only problem is I hate having I gotta connect now to my phone, the Bluetooth, now it's connected.
Right.
Now, theoretically, then this is a cell phone. Could technically be a cell phone in itself, which I like.
Transparent aluminum. Hello, computer. It's the only Scotty I can do.
I know. It's the only Scotty.
A keyboard. How quaint.
It's because they only had 9 fingers.
That's true.
I didn't know that for the longest time.
I know.
I didn't know that for the longest time.
They hit it on the show very well.
Very well, yeah. So I actually didn't even know he was a World War II vet either. Mm-hmm. Are you wanting to just crack open?
I just slammed it down because I'm done. And we got 30 minutes left. So
all right,
let's enjoy that one.
Get some glasses. Let's
Introduce
enjoy it. All right. I'm not even gonna finish mine. You know what? I'm not that kind of guy.
Hey. I finished mine, you finish yours.
All right, jeez. Wait, you have a knife?
I actually don't.
Alright. I carry my little box knife with me.
I lost my knife sometime in moving houses, and I don't know where it's at, and I just haven't bought a new one yet. Now, my dad usually gets me a new carry knife sometime during the Christmas season, so I'm hoping he buys me a new Kershaw.
Yeah, this is just a little Gerber.
Yeah. Let's see, the wax off of there. Nope, not quite.
No, you should be able to. Can you get a grip?
Got it.
All right.
I had it.
So this is, Fremont's 2019 Dark Star Bourbon Maple Vanilla something else.
Chocolate, vanilla, and maple syrup.
Maple syrup. $25?
$25. $25.
Don't complain when I bring crap anymore. Because I bring...
Oh, I'm still going to complain if
every
you bring
now
crap.
and then, I bring the best.
You know what? I'm going to get the tulips.
Yes, this is the wrong glassware. This is not even...
Those are stout glasses.
They're stout glasses for a regular stout. Nothing this...
Yeah.
This is a thing of beauty here. I will guarantee you this is going to be one of your...
I bet it'll crack my top 10.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if it didn't.
I wouldn't be surprised if Steve ran over here to try some of this. Oh, look at that. I do miss the camera for the zooming in.
Yeah.
Maybe
we'll bring that back eventually.
Maybe in the new studio.
That's right.
Now, if you don't know what that is, join Jeff's Discord.
By the way, moving vlogs coming soon.
Yeah, there we go. Pouring yourself. Oh, what?
Look at the line.
Yeah,
we're even.
Yeah, whatever. I paid for it.
Dead even pour.
All right, cheers.
Dead even pour. Cheers to you all. Oh God, yeah. That was almost worth the PBR. Almost worth the PBR.
I mean, look at that. Look how thick and fine that head is.
That's a beautiful pour too.
That's a beautiful pour. That's a thick.
It's up there. By the way, 13.1%.
That's good beer.
That is up there.
Oh, that lingers good.
Yes, it does. Oh, still that maple is still churning. Oh. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. That's good. 13.1. I'm glad I bought a second bottle.
Oh, yes. Oh, and now the bourbon peeked through.
Yeah.
It took that long for the bourbon to shine through the maple syrup. Like, you get the chocolate and vanilla swirl kind of right up front, like a good mixed ice cream kind of thing. You're left with a real hearty maple syrup flavor. And then 10 seconds later, you're reminded that there's still bourbon in it.
No, yeah, that's the best part. The aftertaste, most of it is maple. It's chocolate all up front. Mm-hmm. And then maple. And then just, there's bourbon in there. You're like, whoa.
Oh.
That's a dessert.
Oh, yeah. Maple.
Do we even talk about anything
Pancakes,
else?
buttermilk.
Yes, pancakes.
Bourbon. There it is.
Yep.
That's how long that takes. Oh, that's good.
All right.
Oh, that's so good. What were we talking about? I don't even know.
I don't even care. Mozilla.
Let's get into Mozilla real quick.
It's a quick article.
Yep. So Mozilla is claiming that internet service providers lied to Congress about DNS encryption. And they're probably right.
Yeah, of course they are.
Right. So a little while ago, Congress had a hearing, and they asked a bunch of internet service providers their opinions on DNS over HTTPS, or DOH. And internet service providers said, well, it's going to encrypt all of the traffic globally, and you'll never be able to see anything else, and
everything's fine.
And it's against the rights that we have as ISPs to sell consumer data, and that's just not fair. In reality, it's hiding the data from ISPs, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So this is all part of the back and forth between Congress and really the American people about encryption, about do we have the right to encrypt our traffic? I say, as a private citizen, absolutely yes, I do.
Yeah.
I am so anti-Big Brother. I am anti-snooping. I am anti-listening to my phone calls. Anti-even building an ad profile on me. I've made this joke before, but back in the 60s, it was like, be careful, the government's going to put a black box in your house, and they're going to listen to every conversation you have. And today, Amazon's saying, hey, do you want to buy this black box for $129?
And the FBI is like, shh, put it on sale for $9.99.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we talked last week that in Florida, Amazon has been subpoenaed for the recordings from 2 Amazon Alexas down in Florida in the case of a home murder. Yeah. Now, they don't expect to find anything, but if it was happened to be recording during the time of the murder, that might corroborate a story one way or the other. They want to know about it.
And it probably is, and Amazon, or they're going to sit there and shut them up and be like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, right.
These aren't the droids you're looking for, essentially. Because we all know they actually are. Because we then talked about another article about Siri getting keywords and getting triggered.
Right. Oh, it happens to Alexa, too.
Yeah. They all happen to all of them.
There was one with Alexa that apparently forwarded... someone was having an affair, and it forwarded them talking on the phone or talking with their mistress to his wife or something like that. And there's been a couple instances of that.
Yeah.
And
then
there's been some bedroom relations forwarded to bosses.
Yeah. Oh, and what I love is that after every one of these articles come out, I then see these items go on sale.
Right.
And it's like, oh yeah, buy these items, even now cheaper. Or we're giving them away for free as promotional items. Mm-hmm. No thank you. I will probably never have a Alexa, whatever, any kind of home recording voice audio unless it is a going to my own server type thing. I would never have an outside source. One
of the projects I'm looking at doing very, very soon as I'm buying a house and moving in is actually doing a closed circuit home automation system. Not using Alexa or Google or HomeKit or anything like that, but using an open source, readily available, voice activated, lights controlling, doors, security cameras, everything.
Your own Jarvis.
Not cloud connected.
Yeah.
Right. And so that is something that I really want to look into. Not because I'm, I think the government is spying on me, but I don't want the government spying on me. No. Why make it easy?
Yeah. And I'm going to be the voice of it.
Right. Wake up to that in the morning.
Jeff, wake up!
Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
There it is.
You're looking mighty fit.
No, I need your hungover voice. John, turn on the lights. Ew. That's the voice I need.
Yeah, it's a family-friendly show, Jeff. We try to be, anyways.
We try to be.
It is sort of that time.
9:41.
Yeah, we're getting there. Kids should be in bed.
That's right. If your kids aren't in bed, make them go to bed. Becky, your kids should be in bed already.
Becky's sending me some beer.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Send him Natty.
Oh, no, she's sending me some 18% pumpkin beer.
That's right. I remember you talking about
the only pumpkin beer Jeff might want to try.
I went, 18% you said. I am intrigued.
8 BV what?
Right.
Anyways, but yeah, so basically, Firefox is essentially telling Congress, yeah, everyone lied.
Right.
Look harder into it. That's basically all that comes down to. That. I mean, nothing much more about that. Oh, this one's new. I didn't see this.
Yeah, this one, obviously, we're going to transition into a little bit of game news now. Games, entertainment, things we're happy with. And Becky said the kids are in bed. We're 2 hours ahead of y'all. I was just making sure. My kids have had a hard time going to bed ever since daylight savings. Even though we fell back, they're going to bed an hour later lately. So it's
what's funny.
It's been weird.
Mine's going to bed good, but waking up early.
Yeah.
Which is typical.
Right? No, my kids, their normal bedtime was 7:30. They've been staying up till like 8:20, 8:30 lately, and even the little one's having a hard time falling asleep. And so she's been staying up till like 9 or 9:30, new time.
Interesting.
And it happened like on daylight savings.
Really?
Yeah. So it happened this weekend, and all of a sudden they're staying up like an hour later, but
and you're
2
just
hours
like,
later.
I just want to watch my shows.
I just want to go to sleep, please. Yeah. So yeah, moving into a little bit of gaming news. The biggest of the week is obviously Red Dead Redemption 2 is now available for PC. You can download it, you can play it, if you can log in.
And no one wants to. No. Or no one can.
Well, a lot of people bought it on either the Rockstar launcher or on Epic Games Store. I'm personally waiting for Steam, not because I'm righteous or holier than thou, but just because I have 500 games on Steam and I have 0 on the Rockstar launcher and 0 on Epic, and I have no interest in starting up a different account.
Yeah.
It's just the logistics of it. I don't have a,
Don't want to, don't care, and that's another password you gotta remember.
Right. Anyway, so Red Dead Redemption 2 available on PC, and it's getting off to a little bit of a rocky start. There have been a litany of complaints, activation issues from within the game, if you can get into the game. There's been Rockstar Launcher crashing repeatedly on numerous machines, regardless of build or hardware configuration.
Oh, go figure.
Right. So I don't want to talk so much about that. I want to talk about the workaround that some people have come up with. And that is if you click on the next thing. So the biggest problem is the Rockstar Games launcher, which is required for launch, whether you bought it on Epic Store or directly through Rockstar, is required to launch the game. Apparently, if you rename the game to from RDR2.exe to GTA5.exe, and you use the patch to not launch the Rockstar launcher, it was a no launcher GTA 5, the game will launch. As credited to quite a few different Reddit users over on...
Who thought of that?
Yeah, so, well, it uses the same launch mechanism.
Yeah, but...
And so, apparently the DRM is easily defeated by just saying, yeah, we don't want to launch the Rockstar launcher, just load the damn game. And it's as simple as that. So,
Genius.
if you are having problems...
Well, then it also makes me think, who developed the Rockstar launcher and who developed the non-Rockstar launcher, just developed the game. Like, what was that? Is it literally just some kind of text file they read? Some INI file? Like, oh yeah, that's all I needed. And anyone can go in there, change.
It might be. It might be. The frustrating thing about all this is... excuse me. No one asked for another games launcher. And Rockstar, you don't have a compelling catalog to make yourself a real player in the games industry. You've got, 20 games in total?
I really only like 6 of them.
6 or 7?
Yeah, that are worthy.
Unless you want to play like the original Rocket Car or something like that.
Yeah. No, you basically got Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption.
Right.
I mean, you got 2 series.
You got Bully, which is one game.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, you have, 2 brands. Bully's a game, then you have 2 brands.
Right. Yeah, you have 2 brands. You have Red Dead Redemption and you have GTA 5. Yeah. And Red Dead Redemption was only a series because of Red Dead Redemption, the original, not Red Dead Revolver. No one cares about that one. But this is a clear-cut case of punishing the consumer because you want an extra 5%. You were getting 80% of the profit margin on your game sales through Steam. You were getting 80%. And you didn't have to do a darn thing. Steam has DRM built in. They have launcher mechanisms built in to prevent you from installing on multiple locations and playing online and all that other stuff. They have key management, so you can only create so many online accounts and play with your game online. Steam builds all that into their ecosystem. Why are you trying to re-engineer the wheel when the wheel already exists simply to cut out Steam so you can get an extra 5%? Because I guarantee you developing the Rockstar Games launcher costs you the 15% the Steam would be getting normally.
Oh, yeah.
So you're raising your profits by 5% to frustrate the customer. I've never understood that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's lots of places, like Epyc and all those other ones, they did the same thing, and I was super annoyed by that earlier on.
I don't have an Epyc account. I have a Steam account and I have a Good Old Games account. I also have an Origin account, and I have a Uplay account. I only have a Uplay account because it was required by Steam with Far Cry 5 and one of the Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a Uplay account for like Assassin's Creed 3 or something like that, yeah.
3 or maybe Black Sail.
Something like that. It was one of those. I got the game. I was like, this is the only way I can play it.
Right. But
I think it took like 18 hours.
But again, even EA, you don't have a compelling catalog to make me want to buy into your ecosystem because you're only EA. That's all you are. Same thing with Blizzard. Blizzard, you don't offer enough games to make me buy in. You have, StarCraft and Diablo, and your last good release was 13 years ago?
Well, this comes back to the whole streaming service, though. It's like, these two types of service are just trying to compete with each other. The gaming industry versus the entertainment industry are way too different.
Right.
But the gaming industry, everyone's trying to come up with their own version. I think we will start to see the same thing with the streaming industry now. Mm-hmm. What the foreshadowing or what's coming up, I think we're going to start seeing that. I think it's going to crash, and we're probably going to get back to, no offense, there's that stupid meme of pirating went away,
right?
When Netflix went, and then 20 years or 15 years later, there's the guy dusting off his pirate hat.
Hello, old friend.
Exactly.
Right.
That's going to come back for entertainment and video games. It's coming back. It's going to, because all of this happened. When Steam came out, it was the only player in town, and it made sense. Okay, I will now buy legitimate games from this one independent or this source.
Right.
I'm good to go. I don't have to worry about anything. All my game catalogs are in one spot. Now I have to open up and create new accounts for 10 different things, basically for every new company that develops a game. That's a skull, yes.
Yeah.
So, and same thing with no, that's
the oatmeal.
That's the oatmeal. That's the standard one.
Yeah. No, Skull, you got to look at the gold label, which is the Dark Star 2019 chocolate vanilla maple syrup.
Mm-hmm. It's, I believe, 2 points higher.
Yeah.
Again, this all conversation is on the Discord. George Jeff Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get so annoyed with all these other companies trying to be like, we're coming with our new launcher. I just want to shoot myself.
No,
it's
absolutely.
So
and it's...
And this is why, though, because when a new game comes out that everyone on the PC race is super excited about, and they download it and it just fails.
Right. And it comes down to, where do you want to spend your development dollars? Because you have to develop the software and the encryption and the backend and the user management and everything else. So you've got to all of a sudden build these data centers that can handle the user authentication requests and the DRM, constant online kind of things. Why are you doing that when that system already exists and it costs you 5%? It doesn't make any fiscal sense to me. You're chasing... You're stepping over $1 to pick up a dime.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And I don't understand why. Every time someone has said, our game is DRM encrypted and cannot be cracked, it's cracked within 2 months. And the pirates can download it and they can play it at will. And your customers are the ones that suffer. I was going to get into this. I have an Origin account. I have an Origin account that I started in, I believe, 2008 with EA. So I have an original EA Online account that was converted into an Origin account. Actually, I have two because of a mishap. I was given a game from a retail box. I was given Need for Speed Shift, the original Need for Speed Shift, in 2008 for Christmas. I opened the box. It had a CD code on it to play online. I installed the game. I went to register the CD code. The CD code on a brand new inbox retail copy had already been used. I had to call EA on December 26th and say I can't play my brand new game online because it says my CD key has already been used. I then had to send them a scanned copy of both of my discs plus the CD key plus the receipt at which I had bought it from. So I had to get the receipt from whoever gifted it to me, send that to them, and they issued me a new CD key. That CD key worked for 3 months, and it was cracked again, and then I was kicked off of my online account because someone else was using that CD key that was provided me from EA. I then had to create a new account because they had locked me out of my old account for multiple customer service violations.
Oh, yeah.
Because all of a sudden my keys were getting kicked out left and right. They gave me a third account under a new username. That one was cracked about 3 months later, and I couldn't play online. So here's a $60 retail game, which DRM not only failed, but someone broke their key encryption algorithm. And they were selling keys on the black market, and I was the one suffering for it.
Yeah.
And ever since 2008, I've hated EA for that policy. Meanwhile, Steam existed in 2008. I was playing, Left 4 Dead 2 and Team Fortress 2 and Half-Life and all those other games on their service, which was an online, Steam as we know it today. Had DRM, had CD keys, had custom keys. They were tied to your account, and everything's happy. That's where Valve spent their development dollars. EA, do you want to spend your development dollars in fixing customer service problems because you freaking suck at SQL databases? Or would you rather just eat that 5% profit and have your customers be happy and play your games and buy your software?
Download the crap out of it.
I haven't bought almost any EA game since then. I bought Battlefield 4. Or no, I got Battlefield 4 free from Origin on one of their giveaways.
Yeah, no.
And I've had a couple of titles that I've benchmarked. I think I paid $30 for Battlefield 1 because I benchmarked it one time, but then I ran into an issue of if you swap out graphics cards every so often, it locks you out of the account. So I was trying to do a graphics card roundup for a review one day, and I got locked out of my Origin account.
Yeah, no, I think Battlefield 1 was the last one I ever bought.
And I paid $30 for that, and it's like, that's unacceptable. Yeah. It's not acceptable.
No, I had such a bad experience with that. I never even bought the expansions. I was like, I'm not even going to touch this. This is crap.
And I don't buy EA games anymore. Not because I'm but because your service is so horrendous.
Yeah.
Because you make it difficult. Because going out to Fit Girl repacks and downloading a repack is that much easier.
Yeah.
It is easier than dealing with your BS.
Yeah. No, I won't be surprised if a lot of piracy and new ways of piracy and hacking and online playing will come about because of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to continue on or just go straight to Q&A? We got 3 quick stories. Nothing super important.
I don't think there was anything super interesting. We do need to talk about one because it was in the title.
The title. I was going to say there's a title article.
Yeah. So Witcher to debut on Netflix on December 20th. We kind of knew that, but the date has now been announced.
Yeah.
So you can go do that.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of new trailers for it.
And Diablo 4, the developers say the release time isn't even coming soon under Blizzard time.
Yeah.
So they announced it. Remember how I said Blizzard could have won QuakeCon
last year
or BlizzCon 2018?
Yeah. I just listed a logo.
Even with all the "don't you guys have phones" and that whole fiasco.
And as everyone was leaving,
2021. They could have blown people's minds. Instead, it was "don't you guys have phones?" And this year, it's the F China.
Yeah.
Or
we're sorry.
Or bow down to China, rather.
Yeah.
So anyway, Diablo 4 not coming anytime soon, even according to Blizzard time.
Yeah.
Those were the next 2 stories.
From what I understood, it was 2022.
Right.
Is what they're expecting.
Right.
Anyways, but then there was Facebook and Instagram. This is a stupid story.
And I told you we could talk about it as long as we kept all of it tongue-in-cheek.
It's a very stupid story. I put it up there because at the time there weren't that many articles up. But I'm not going to be able to talk about eggplant parmesan anymore. Or talk about, hey, I really killed it on my karaoke version of the Presidents of the United States of the Peaches song.
Or Nicolas Cage in Face Off saying I could eat a peach for hours.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to express myself via emoji.
That's right. The following emojis will get you banned on Facebook.
Or Instagram.
The
Yep.
peach, the eggplant, and in some circles, the sweat drops.
Yes.
Yep.
Or spit, whatever,
Yep.
sweat, whatever.
Facebook has declared a war. Both Facebook and Instagram, Facebook subsidiary, declare a war on the sexual use of the eggplant and peach emojis.
So dumb. Anyways. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not a complete and total ban. It's essentially just if you're using it in a
Sexual context.
yeah, exactly.
So someone had to sit there and program their AI to search for sexual language with a peach or an eggplant emoji.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Or this.
That was someone's job.
And I bet for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he just enjoyed it.
I wanted to be a fly on the wall in that board meeting. Okay, so what we need you to do
All right.
is we need you to write an algorithm.
I mean, why wouldn't anyone? Okay, now they're just gonna switch to something else.
Here's a list of the 50 most used sexual phrases on Facebook.
Yeah.
Any of those come up, right? Any of those? Well, it's a board meeting, so they had to pare them down. You know, we don't want to get too aggressive with our AI. I'm just kidding now. But here's the list of the 50 most used sexual phrases on Facebook.
If they ever use the word dame and a peach emoji, take that out.
And God forbid they're a fan of Dame Lillard and they think Damian Lillard and they think he's a peach.
Yeah.
Right.
Dang, that Damian Lillard,
he got a big eggplant.
He got a big eggplant while he's making them threes.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the peach and the eggplant will get you banned.
Yeah. Just stay away from any fruit or vegetables.
Now, quote from Facebook in their defense, content will only be removed from Facebook and Instagram if it contains a sexual emoji alongside implicit or indirect ask for a nude imagery, sex or sexual partners, or sex chat conversations. We're not taking action on simply using the emojis.
Yes.
End quote.
I will sit there and say that's not true. I will give within the next 30 days that the Facebook AI will probably somehow ban a couple of those.
Right.
You know, whatever.
Yep.
But that's enough of that. We
had like 10 more jokes.
Yeah, but we're short on time. If there's any quick questions, people have been posting it on the chat. Yeah. It's not the first time I've seen that.
No.
Any quick questions of other questions, articles on the show, anything related, any questions in general, go ahead and hit them up right now.
How does the camera look tonight?
Yes.
That's what I want to know.
Jeff has a fancy new camera. I'm enjoying this beer, so we might go over just a little bit.
We might just sit here and drink this beer.
I'm not even like chugging this beer. It's little sips.
I am just sipping this beer.
It's a sipper.
Is so good. We have we don't use the eggplant very much in the Discord, but I do have a Pickle Rick emoji.
Yes, if that can just be replaced.
Yeah. The cam is fine. I'm going to tell you, this is probably the best color I've ever had on a live feed. And in fact, if I go into my filters and I turn off the color correction, this is the raw data feed that I'm getting from the camera.
Oh, okay.
So this is just the color correction within OBS that I was able to achieve. And normally what we've been seeing has been coming directly out of camera and plugged into OBS with no filters. So I actually had to apply a contrast and a brightness filter to this. But this is the directly out of the cinema camera video. So
we can turn your shirt into whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Out of all of the times that people on Discord have made memes of the show, I'm surprised no one's ever done like a blue screen, green screen of any of our stuff.
Yep.
Because you have worn plenty of blue.
Yeah. No, I wear a lot of blue. A lot of my wardrobe is blue. Either blue or green. They say it brings out your hair.
I know.
Maybe he's born with it.
I was thinking about doing a video on my channel of making a blonde beer, but cutting my hair and making a beer with my hair. So it would be truly a blonde beer.
Yeah, you mentioned that one. I'm not sure I'm on board with that one.
And I'll make you drink it.
Favorite style of classical music? Studying Baroque oboe at the Sydney Conservatorium. I played clarinet for 9 years. So the Baroque phase, I freaking love Baroques. I like fugues. I am such a sucker for a good fugue. I love contrasting melody lines more than anyone else. I played clarinet for 9 years. I played bass clarinet for 7 years. I actually own a basset horn. I'm one of the few people who can probably say that. A basset horn in F. It's the only woodwind instrument that's in F. I've played a contrabass clarinet. I've played bari sax a couple of times. I play alto and tenor sax. I could never quite get the double reeds down. I was never really a great oboe or bassoon player, although I did try. Also a medium skilled percussionist. Not necessarily with a full drum kit, but get me on a timpani or quads or bells, chimes, xylophone, anything like that. I can work my way around. Tchaikovsky, I love Tchaikovsky. What was the probably my two crowning achievements for that was I was the featured soloist for the Eugene Junior Orchestra my sophomore year of high school, and I played the Artie Shaw Clarinet Concerto, which is big band jazz, Artie Shaw, Benny Goodman, that kind of stuff.
That's good. I like that.
That was absolutely my favorite thing in the world. That and I think it was my junior year, I also played an American in Paris suite. I got to play an E-flat contrabass clarinet, and I had a dueling duet with a bari sax in the middle of it.
Oh.
And that was so much fun to take to jazz competitions. Was just rocking on that. Do I make my own music? I've never really made my own music. I'm not the best improvisational musician. I'm very much a parrot musician, where if I hear it, I can probably reproduce it. And so I wish I could make my own music. I've written my own things a couple of times. I'm certainly better on the bass line side of things than anything else. I also play bass guitar. That's probably my primary instrument anymore.
That's how we met.
That's exactly how John and I met, was playing in a band. Looking into historical music, classical period clarinet is beautiful, and I wholeheartedly agree. And I don't think the clarinet gets nearly as much love as it deserves. Seems to be all flute and oboe get a lot of the love. And then the clarinet's kind of glossed over, and then they get into modern stuff with saxophone, soprano sax, etc.
The sexy stuff.
The sexy stuff.
Yeah. Now, so you need to redo that in clarinet form.
Someone says they play ukulele. I also have a ukulele. I have a couple different ones. I have a soprano ukulele, and I have a baritone ukulele, which is actually my most favorite instrument to play.
Oh, I thought you had a bass ukulele.
I also have a bass ukulele. Yeah. I have a U-bass.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember you busting that out a few times.
I freaking love the U-bass.
I remember you were like, check this out. I'm like, what the heck is that? Oh.
Is this big? It's so much fun.
Sure.
Yep. But no, probably my favorite instrument to play of all time is probably a baritone ukulele, because it's the same key as a guitar. You can play it like a guitar, but it's a 4-string guitar, and I can just rip on that thing like nothing else. But that is so much fun. But yeah, I played woodwind instruments for the better part of 9 years. I still will pick up my clarinet occasionally, although I'm not nearly the caliber that I used to be. Music is very much a forefront of both John and my lives, so we're very much music fans over here.
Yeah.
Favorite period of music? Anything.
Literally
anything.
Yeah, you say I actually don't know too many definitions or artists of classical music, but I actually do listen to a lot of classical music. Most people in my work office and most of my offices, ever since even from high school till now, say I have the weirdest eclectic music scene. My father grew up and grew me up with the 40s and 50s music and classical music. There's a lot of Russian folk music I've listened to. I listen to a lot of weird things. It goes from just death metal to somehow Bach, classical music, and then it gets into, I wouldn't say, actually, the one thing I don't like is like modern hip hop.
Yeah.
90s hip hop, love that. You know, it goes into that, and then it goes into like Russian pure vocal singing. It's quite amazing. So it's very odd.
So one thing that
we have a music section in the Discord.
That's right. Yes. We do. Yeah. One thing I had the privilege of doing is playing on the All Northwest Honor Band one of the years that I was in high school. And there was a couple vivid memories I have in my mind of that. One was playing Frank DeKelly's An American Elegy. If you have never heard that piece, it was written for the Columbine High School Massacre. And we were the first band outside of the Columbine High School to play that.
Which is not far from where we are technically shooting.
And it is a wonderful, wonderful piece of music. And I was very honored to play that piece. And Frank DeKelly's a wonderful American composer if you've never heard of him. But the funny thing to come out of that year was we played a song called Theme from Green Bushes. And I'm looking back at my notes to remember what the name of the song was. But we were all given the music about 2 months in advance, and we were told to practice it and whatnot. But this song was relatively unknown. Mm-hmm. There were no real recordings of it or anything like that. And so the director gets up on the podium, and first rehearsal, first run through, let's just sight read this, and we'll work through the issues. He goes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we start out, bum, 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 bum. And he stops us there, and he goes, you wish it's in 2. Bum 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 ba-da-da-da-dum, bum ba-da-da-dum, bum 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 ba-da-da-dum, bum 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-
doors. Oh my god.
It was the funniest thing ever because we literally got through about 6 measures and he goes, "You wish."
All right, now double time that.
Yeah. No, it was 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Because it was 6, but it's in 2.
So,
yeah.
Someone asked about Nickelback. Yes. Why do you think I got married?
That's right.
I shouldn't say why. How do you think I got married? Yeah. Anyways, no, none of us play Pokemon. Well, okay, not Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
You played Pokemon on Game Boy, right? Like the older ones.
I played Red and Blue, and then I owned Yellow for a short time. I never owned all 150. I never...
No.
It was never like a love or an endeavor of mine.
Closest Pokemon I ever got was Super Smash Brothers.
Yep. And probably my... Sorry, I'm just waxing poetic about music anymore.
I know, that's why I was trying to get them off.
I know. If you want to talk about weird time signatures, what's the weirdest time signature you've ever had to play? Let's end on this.
Oh, God. I don't know because there's been some weird time signatures as a band we've come up with, and I'm like, that's just too weird. That's, it's gone. But I would say that it's not even that weird. 6/8.
Right.
6/8 is probably the weirdest.
I've done 15.5/16. That's a weird one.
That is a very.
I've done 15.5/16. I've marched to 7/2. Done marching band.
How do you march to 7/2?
I was hoping you would ask that.
You can't march to.
Okay. So
you can't.
The way you counted this one was 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay, I get that.
So you did 2 3s and 4 2s, and you put them together, and you have 3 2 2 2 3. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, but your feet were only marching on the downbeats of each measure. And so it was 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. And so you're normally with marching band, your primary foot is your left foot, and so you go 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1.
Yeah.
If you're in 3, it switches. It goes 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Okay, I will say I've played music in that.
Now try to do it where the beats are not regular.
Yeah.
1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. There's a hitch in your step every 2 beats. Yeah.
I will say I have played music in that. I just didn't know that was the rhythm.
Yeah.
We will end on this because someone stated church music has weird time. No, it does not.
Nope.
It is 4 all the way.
Yeah. 3-2 if you get really exotic.
Yeah, but it's 4. You could be the crappiest player and you're good to go. Not saying this.
Someone says, is that a Sapphire Vega 56 I see? Nope. That is a Sapphire Vega 64, but it is the reference card. That one. And this actually isn't mine anymore. I sold this to one of my Patreons. So it'll be in the mail probably on Friday.
Another great thing to be in Jeff's Patreon.
We have a buy-sell channel.
That's right.
A quite active buy-sell channel.
So, yeah, we're getting spammed by Japanese.
Wait a minute. You sound like you were marching to the Halloween theme. The Halloween theme is in 7.2.
Oh. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's exactly right. I've had a composer ask me to play 13 quarters over 12 quarters beat. Yeah, 13/12. That is, I've played that time signature. 15/16 was the weirdest one.
For me, I've never known the timing. It's more of like, okay, hang on. Now I got it. Okay, I got it, and I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm not a classically trained, or I never went to music, lessons. It was more of I was drummer, percussionist. And just, my brother has weird timing.
I missed this one. Someone had a 19/8 and a 13/8.
So.
I can say I've never played in 13/8. I do believe I played in 19/8, though.
I wouldn't know. I don't think I have.
We also did a marching show where we did Money.
Oh, yeah. I know that song.
Yeah. So we did that one for a marching show one time. But anyways, you got me distracted. Bravo. Yeah, this has been episode 105. Talking Heads, every Wednesday night here at 8 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to Craft Computing if you haven't done so already. And since you're in the mood, subscribe to Hops and Brews. Link is down in the video description below. If you feel like financially backing the channel, look me up on Patreon. Also linked down in the video description. Minimum donation of $1, but you do get access to our exclusive Discord server where you can chat with myself and the other hosts from Talking Heads.
All with one breath.
I've said that quite a few times.
Yeah, I know. It gets pretty...
And remember, all of this is pre-recorded.
That's right.
Even the chats.
Yep.
So, thank you guys so much for watching this one. Stay tuned for the next couple of weeks. It's going to get weird. The next couple of weeks are going to be a little bit in flux. We are closing on the purchase of our new home on November 25th. And I could not be more excited. However, there's a little bit of contractor work we have to do beforehand before we can move in. We are planning right now for our first show in the new house to be on December 11th. So 4 weeks away. 5 weeks away. Rhett. Yes. Yep. So anyway, I know content has been a little slow lately. I've got a couple of videos I'm going to try to get out in the meantime. I have all the testing for them done. It's just I need to put them together and produce them into videos. But as you can imagine, with 2 kids, a wife, selling one house and trying to buy another, and a full-time job still, I've been quite busy. So.
As he's buying me beer, too.
And buying John beer when he can't get off his button drive to Salem.
That's right.
Anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sticking around. I know content has been slow, but trust me, we are going to hit the ground running with this new studio. Starting with the brand new CineCam that I just bought. So I'm fully committed because I just spent $3,500 on a CineCam.
You're trying to get me to buy the same thing.
Hops and Brews could totally benefit from it, I'm telling you.
I know. The zoom-in clarity of this beer. Oh my god.
160 FPS at 4K, are you kidding me? Imagine what you could pour with that.
No one would care.
No one would care.
Now imagine what people would be like gagging.
Yeah. Trying the PBR.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See that in glorious slow motion. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, we will see you next week. Cheers all.
See you guys.